So I'm sitting here just kind of enjoying the moment. So I do Tiny Desk every year. I've been doing it now for about maybe 4 years now. And I do it because I like the community of it. And I do it to just join the community. People can check out the songs I write and stuff. And then I can check out other artists too. At some point, I would love to do an actual Tiny Desk show with a band. This year, of course, I couldn't do it, but I told myself I'm gonna start putting money away this year for next year. So next year, when I do it, I can have a full band and some background singers for what I want to do, because I want to hear my art like that complete on stage. So I changed the song. I was going to do Drawn Near to Me, and then decided to do Stuck in Limerence because I felt that so much more and better. And that's kind of where I'm at right now, where I want to walk in the fullness of truth. I've learned a lot about game and just a lot about the nature of man and woman, so to speak. My hair is doing a lot, but it's okay. I kind of liked it the other way. Wait a minute. Hold on. It's giving me that. Wait, now I messed it up. Darn. I messed it up. I liked it where it was in the middle and this side was over. That was kind of cool. Wait, hold on. Am I being vain? No, I'm just being me. I'm definitely in my divine feminine. And that's what I love about the song Stuck in Limerence, because the whole Aura and Orbit project is about empowerment. It's about walking in your divine feminine. It's about dealing with the chase and beauty of love, sometimes making a mistake in it, taking ownership in that mistake, and then really finding what your heart needs. Sometimes we chase things because of what's going on outside of our lives, and then we realize we didn't even want that thing. We were just looking for something to sedate what's going on in our lives, So the challenge I gave myself today was, first I was going to do like a looper thing, but it wasn't working. I couldn't get my timing right. With loopers, you have to, when you hit the one, you got to hit the button at the same time. There's no pause. And every time I was practicing with the drum part, I was like off with that drum and it wasn't working. And I was like, if I can't line this drum up, I can't play. It's just not going to happen. So I pulled my performance tracks out and I said, we're going to do this karaoke style, even though I do like playing with it, but I wanted to stay in the key I was in. And it just needed a little bit more work. So I said, we'll do this karaoke style. So I set it up. And I told myself my chair is not allowed in my set, because when I got sick in 21, I kind of lost my mobility from being in that hospital bed for 3 months. Now I go to these stretch sessions every Saturday, and I'm a lot more mobile. I walk more, and I said, we got to get back to standing up and performance again. So I challenged myself, and I sang standing up. And I used my diaphragm as best as I could. The first 5 takes, I was breathing all crazy. But when I got by take 6, I was starting to find the ownership. I do see where I need more improvement. I see where I need to start jogging more, walking more, eating more. A friend of mine sends me different things every now and then as encouragement on things I could do to help. And I'm definitely I'm taking heed on it, because as I was watching the playbacks, I said, okay, I wanna harness this again, because performance is my first love. I've been performing since I was 3 years old. Theater, dance, singing, oratorical fest. When I'm not doing that work, I'm bored with life. You feel congested inside. It's like an outlet. There was one moment today when I was pulling out all my equipment. And let me show you. This little sucker right here. Messed up my whole operation today. I gotten the looper set up, the keyboard set up, the my amp set up, got the lights ready. And I said, okay, let me see where this is going. Plug this aux in because you have to plug out through the headphone set to just get it into the amp. It's a weird setup. And I plugged this into my keyboard, and this thing was like not working at all. So I had to wait an hour for DoorDash to bring me bought me two auxes, new auxes, because it's just shorted out. And so played around with the ideas, and I was like, man, it's not working. I can't get the timing right, because with my looper, there's no delay at all. Some things will give you a 5-second delay, or even up to at least a 1, 2, 3, 4 click track delay, a 4 count. This thing, the way it works on the looper, the one is the button. So I literally have to have one hand on the button, the other hand on my keyboard, and as soon as I'm hitting the button, my hand has to be hitting the kick drum in my keyboard. And I when I say I was effing up the syncopation of you can't mess up the joy. You could syncopate any other note and be like, I meant to do that. The drums have to be locked in. There's no way to do it. So I bit it and I said, okay, I'm gonna just do this to karaoke and do the best job I can. Submit my work and join the community. I'm all yawning. And then I've been inspired by the way Colors does their things. And I got a lot of music. And I got a lot of tunes that I want to put out. I like how Aaliyah Sheffield, I think that's how she pronounced her name, how she just gets up and does her stuff. And I said, you know what, Chanel? I know you would prefer some things in your life to be more polished, but I'm not talking about her work. I'm talking about mine, my personal preference. But a part of me is like, girl, get up and just do your thing. Do your thing. Put some money into the bank. Say you'll get a band at some point. You're indie. You got to put it together. Like when Duran Bernard said that on the Grammys the other day, and he said, this is 20 years. I've been doing this. I've been partnering with people, doing things, doing stories and all this, and look where it got me. And I was like, stop stopping and do it, So today I made myself get up. No more sitting behind the keyboard or behind something. And I performed. I put my cute little outfit on, put my makeup on, and I did it. And I liked the last couple of takes I got. So I'm going to edit those 3 down, and me and my family will watch it to choose which one we like the best. And that's what I'll release tomorrow from my tiny desk. After I finished, I sat down, I was tired, and I just was smiling because it felt good to do that again. Creativity and love can really heal this world. And I had fun. For me, I was a theater major. I'm at San Francisco State University, and I majored in theater arts. So I performed this piece as if I was a theater person. I sang it as if it was a musical. That's kind of how I wrote it. I wrote it as if it was on a Broadway stage. It's still hip hop and R&B and soul. It's like jazz soul, but I'm singing it as if I'm on a stage somewhere. I strongly desire to see my work performed, both by me as an artist and even in plays, because I do a lot of writing. I write songs for like creative art, sound work, and then I do write stuff for the stage as well. And so my desire this year is to really embark on all of that as quickly as I can. Earlier I had posted I really need a studio. I've always had a space in my home for a studio. Always. I've either converted my kitchen table into the office studio, or had an area in my living room. The way it is now, the room I have is very portable. Like Murphy bed, futon bed, flip it up, pull this table out, pull that table out. We just make do. I got 2 desks in here. One that I do all my editing and stuff on, and then one for any kind of typing, administrative work. That's how my room is set up. And then big bean bags in the middle of the floor when I need to lay out. office chair, and extra table. So everything is just really portable. And today, when I was pulling that equipment out, I said, you just got to bite it and go get yourself a space. I saw some spaces in December, and I was leaning towards getting it. And then I was like, do I really want to make this commute? Because I knew my job would be changing, because I work about an hour away from where I live. And so the studio was another hour from my job. And I was like, well, if I came to this job every day instead of teleworking part of the week and then coming in a couple of days, then it would have made sense to get it. But because I'm only up there now like 2 days out the week, it didn't make sense to do it. I was like, that means I'll be commuting almost an hour and a half just to get to my studio space, and then having to lug all the way back down after. I was like, I might as well find something where I live, because then I could just go there after work and work. And mainly I want it so that I can practice. So I need to shed. Today's thing that I put together for Tiny Desk showed me what I need to be doing. I was like, it's time to put yourself back together and perform again and get back out there. Because I used to do a lot of shows, open mics, and things like that. And life's had a baby, stop, got with people, that was that. But it was such a joy just doing it. And then Nathan came in and was playing around with me, and he's got really good pitch, so he could find the keys, and he was like, Mom, this is so much fun. And as he was doing it, I was like, I really need to get him enrolled in some band classes so he can learn his performance, because he has it naturally, but there's things he can be trained on. And he had such a joy in his face when he was doing it. He goes, Mom, we just did a show. And I was like, we did. And you did. And I said, you were actually hitting most of the right notes. Like, he heard it and just knew. He knows. He's like me. He knows exactly where to go. So it's storytelling. And as I watched the playbacks, I was trying to choose what's the best one where singing the song right, speaking to the audience, telling the story, because that's what the music is about. It's about telling the story, because we can all gain something from the story. We can all relate to things. And as I was watching it, I said, I want to shed. I want to keep going. I want to get better. I want to get a vocal coach. I want to find a trainer and help me deal with this gut. like my diaphragm. I was like, the issue is not that I can't sing. The issue is I got this mom gut left over for that this baby. I'm so transparent, and I don't care. It's the reality, and I'm doing this live because I'm sitting here in my joy and in the afterglow of the performance, and I'm literally thinking about both the performance and how I can do better. That's what I do. That's what you do as an artist. You look at, okay, how did I do? Okay, I like how I did that. I like how I did that. And I like to watch playbacks in the middle of my rehearsals too, because it tells me what's working, what's not, and then go back and fix it. I'm having fun with my spoken word poetry parts. My dad used to always tell me, Chanel, lean into more of your spoken word. I'm not saying you don't sing good. I like your singing too and what you write. But something happens when you do your spoken word. He's right. I agree with him on that. And someone else told me that too, a coworker. She said, I like all that you're doing, but when you hit that spoken word, my ears wake up. And so there's a spoken word in this one, and I'm going all in. And I was like, I love this. I love, like there was a joy. I was like, I'm getting into my little rhyme, and I felt it. I just the feeling I have right now is better than anything. This morning, I know what happened this morning with the situation my family's kind of going through with a neighbor from hell. That's all I'm going to say, a neighbor from hell. Was sent to distract me, because I already was ready to go get my stretch, and I had to deal with that thing first as the head of the household, and call my leasing agency and deal with them and send letters, and just... You got to kill everybody with kindness, regardless of how stuff happens. And so I went and did my stretch. The coach who helps me stretch was like, what are you going to do for the day? And I said, I have some arranging I have to do. I've been putting it off, and I'm really excited about doing it. And she was like, well, go do it. Like, she was like, get there and go do it. I'll see you next week. And as I left there, I was excited because she's helping me put my body back together. She goes in and moves my hips a certain way. I'm feeling parts in my body I haven't felt in years. I was a dancer for 10 years. And so me not using my body the way I used to use it is weird for me. This life that I have found myself in, and I became sedentary because I started working full time. Before then, I was always very active. But you know how it is when you work at a desk, you become very sedentary. So she's really opening me back up. And so when I got home, it was like, pull out this equipment. I know you don't want to do it, so I'm pulling stuff out, finding all these lights, and just here, I'll show you my lights. My little dirty desk. Okay, just look. There's my light. So my room is well lit right now. Okay. And even though it's like tight in here, and at one point I was getting claustrophobic, like I hate when I have to pull out my equipment because that means I only have a small space to stand. And this is my stage for that moment. And I was like, oh, this is driving me crazy. Because I have a garage here. And I was using it one summer. The problem was, because of our location of where the garage is, everybody started coming to my garage to hang out and was checking out my equipment. And I was like, this is BS. Because I'll hate to come down here one day and y'all done came and ransacked all my stuff that I've collected for over 15 years. My computers, my mics, my speakers, all my cords. This is my thing, you know. like get out. And they would come and want to talk, and I'm trying to sing or put together the next thing for the visual because I was filming down there and stuff. And I remember one time Nana and Auntie Alicia came and was like, what are you in there? I said, I'm working on some projects. And they pulled up while I was singing. I had my little mic in my hand and everything. And they was like, oh, okay, that's what you do. And I was like, you know me. And it's like, you always create. And I said, I'm always creating something because that's my joy. That's me. That's my thing. I love it, y'all. I could live like an eternal state of creativity and I'll be the happiest lark in the world. I kid you not. I'm not an aloof, but it's just something beautiful about the stage, preparation, all of that. And so I did my thing. I'm just happy I got through it. I was standing up because my last big show I did, not last year, the year before, I brought my stool on the stage, and the whole time I was like, even though my back is hurting and my stomach is hurting, I was like, this is not working. It's not cute. And I told my producer I wanted to kick that chair so bad because it was feeling like a crutch. And he said that chair is a crutch for you. You've never used that on the stage before. We're going to have to figure out how to get your body conditioned again to get back up there and do it. And I was like, because that was my first target after that show. My sister came to me afterwards, and because she always helps me critique my shows, and she said, Chanel, we know you, and we know what you do on stage, and we know you could do a good job. And I'm not saying you didn't do a good job, because the crowd was clapping, but I could tell you were in pain. I could tell. She was like, I know you weren't giving your full, and every time you get on the stage, we want you to give your A game because we know what you can. And I said, yeah, because I kind of felt bad at the job. I was like, I did horrible, and then I watched it, and I was like, it wasn't that bad, but it was. And so that show was my awakening that, yes, I may have had an injury. I broke my whole freaking leg. And then afterwards, the heart attack and having to recover. But you can accommodate your body back to some type of new normal. So this year for me is just about shedding, grinding. I'm going to work on this gut. Because I feel like after I had Nathan, if you have a C-section, if you ever have a C-section, it takes you an entire year to refill the entire senses again in that area. And my stomach has never been the same since that C-section. Even though I got all my senses back, I do feel like I remember when I got to like month 6, I could feel the middle of my stomach. And I was like, that means I haven't been able to feel that. And other women who had C-sections were saying the same thing. They were like, yeah, you won't notice it. And all of a sudden you'll feel sensations. It really takes time for your body to come back together. And they cut you in 6 places. So you forget that. And they're unearthing your muscles and moving your intestines too. You know, moving all parts of your body just to get to that uterus to pull that baby out. Like that was, and I have to remind myself sometimes that that was the surgery I had. But that's why it's such hard work for me right now with my diaphragm. And I never had to work so hard before I had Nathan. So he's now 11. Not blaming him. I'm just realizing I should have been conditioning like a year after I had him. I didn't know I was going to lose that kind of stuff. And they don't tell you that when you have a baby. No one ever tells you that people tell you, okay, you're going to have a baby, you're going to lose sleep. My aunt would tell me when I was pregnant, this is the easy part, honey. You could just sleep it off. You're going to be in pain, but this is the easy part. When that baby gets here, that's when everything's going to change. And she was so right, because that last 2 weeks of pregnancy, Nathan was huge. I couldn't move. He wasn't move. He was fine, but he couldn't move the way he used to move, and we were just uncomfortable. And then when he got here, I just couldn't sleep anymore because we were dealing with the feedings and stuff. And I was like, now I see what she meant by that was the easy part. But back to what I digress. But so my mission right now is gut health, getting this diaphragm working right, because I had fun standing. Even though at one point my back did hurt, but I kind of leaned in a little bit and I did little things, and I'm still trying to. It's the whole the movement, yeah, of trying to be cute, but still perform. But then you can't be cute, or you're not gonna get all the note out, and so I see where I need to work. Like I see it. But I believe in the artistry that I do. I believe in my music. I believe in my voice. I like my little deep, raspy voice. I just want to work it better. And I enjoyed the quirkiness of my show. I'm doing this right now, you guys, because I'm having a Chanel appreciation night. We don't appreciate our own selves and our own things enough. As I watched those playbacks, I was just cheesing, and I was like, it's not just that it was the performance that was good. I was just happy that I was seeing my idea come into fruition. I remember when I wrote that song, I was like, where am I going with this? My producer, he has a catalog that we're allowed to go in and pick things out and write to. And so I was going through it one day trying to find some music, and I stumbled upon the track that I use to write to this song. And I was like, I like where this is going. Let me see what I can write. And that's what came out. And after I wrote it, I was like, I want to see where else this goes. So, thought. Inspired thought, writing, prose, all those things. It's for all of us, right? So I'm curious to see how it's received. I'm curious to see my part of it. My part is done as far as writing the song, but I'm curious to see what thoughts it provokes and inspires. And right now, I just want to get better. I want to refine. So my goal right now is to I already have my normal savings, but now I want to establish a business type savings. So the way it is right now as an entrepreneur, I do make some money from my stuff, and everything just goes back into it, right? So now I think I want to establish a budget for my studio space, and then I'm going to start calling around to my different musician friends just to see if, once I have that space, they can come in and we can do things like once a week or something. I think it was a channel called, I might be getting it wrong, Creepy Pockets or Steamy Pockets or something, and they would do something like that. Like every week they would post. Because I got a lot of material, and today when I was when I was working and motivating myself to pull my equipment out, I said, if you don't do this, I still got a leaf in my hair from the flower I put in. If you don't sing your darn songs, ain't nobody gonna hear them. They're not darn, but that's how I said it. I said, if you don't get up and sing these songs, girl, nobody's gonna hear your work. You can write all day long, but what's the purpose of them sitting on your hard drive, It's time to face the music. You have the tools. You are rusty because you haven't been doing it. You got to shed, so get up. And I told myself I said, once this is over, you're going to have a tangible thing in your hand to look at, and you're just going to smile because you got it out. And then you're going to know where to go from there. So, creativity and love, man. Creativity and love can heal this world. So, I will definitely be back for more, you guys. I love this feeling. I do. You could call it a dopamine rush if you want to. I just feel complete. Like, you set a goal and you do it. I was having fun in the creative moment. I said, pull out whatever you feel like putting on. And so I pulled out a black dress, this cat suit, put the black dress on top of the cat suit, put my little jean jacket on that's a little tight, but it's still cute. I put on one earring because you couldn't see anything on the side. I put on a lace glove. I couldn't find the other one, so I said, I'm just wearing my one lace glove and hold it and pose. And then I said, and I kept singing. I said, I want to put flowers in my hair today. So I found my little purple. I don't know where I threw it now, but put my little purple flowers in my hair. And then I said, now put on your stage makeup, because once the lights come on, it shows everything. And if you don't have any makeup on, you will look washed. So, did that. I knew I was going to be sweating, but there's nothing I could do about that. And just did the darn thing. And it felt good. It just... Basically, what I'm saying is, out of everything that I thought I was trying to chase, this is what I wanted. I've been hiding. I've been finding myself chasing or lingering on ideas or ideals because I didn't want to face this. Someone said that to me the other day. They said there's something that you're running from and you need to run towards it and deal with it. And it's your strength, it's your power, it's your empress, it's your art, whatever that is. I don't know what you do. And I was like, I'm an artist and I've been afraid to step into some stuff. And now that I've done it, I'm like, oh God. Oh, let's do more. So, we shall see how all this happens. Like I said, I joined Tiny Desk to be a part of the community. It's not so much about trying to win the contest. It's more, I like joining the community of artists because everybody jumps in. And so I'm like, I'm going to jump in too. I want to jump in and have some fun and just, everybody freak your flag and see what you do and see what you do. It's fun. So, yeah. So, creativity and love can heal this world. I'm going to be back tomorrow. Content creator. I'm going to eat a little something, take my nighttime medicine, and call some hogs. And then I'm going to get up and edit and release what I did today. Yeah. I'm going to go from there. All right, guys. Have a good evening.